I call Chris Farfoy.
Mr Chair, thank you very much for letting me take a call on Clause 3, which sets out the principal act that this bill before us amends, and that is the New Zealand Public Health and Disability Act 2000. Mr Chair, the amendments that are set out in this bill are significant changes to the Principal Act, Mr Chair, and that is why why on this side of the House we would have preferred that this bill did not go through this House under urgency, and that this bill should have gone through the Select Committee process and should have been referred to the Health Select Committee, because it is a significant change to the Principal Act, Mr Chair. Mr Chair, as was debated in the previous clause, the commencement of this bill may be when the bill receives the royal assent, but the effective change of the bill took place yesterday on the 16th of May. And that is significant, Mr Chair, because of the number of people who would have wanted to have made submissions to this bill and who have been robbed of that opportunity because this government has decided to rush this piece of legislation through this House through urgency with no Select Committee scrutiny at all. Mr Chair, this does amend that Principal Act. There would have been a lot of interest because this law change stems from a Human Rights Tribunal case. It's a case that also went through the High Court and I understand the Court of Appeal. So there's been significant public interest and significant amount of time in the justice sector taken up by the events that took place to lead to this change in the law. So, Mr Chair, in terms of the changes that have been made in this bill to that Principal Act, we would have preferred that there had been the opportunity for Select Committee scrutiny. It would have given members of the public the opportunity to come and make submissions, as Chris Hipkins has said in the debate around Clause 2. It would have given us, or the Health Select Committee, the potential opportunity to listen to those submissions and improve the bill and improve the amendments that we are making to the New Zealand Public Health and Disability Act of 2000. We are rushing through this piece of legislation, Mr Chair, and we are opening ourselves up to the risk of making a huge mistake in the way that we are changing the Principal Act. And it would have been much better for the time of this House for us to have gone away and done a proper job of changing this Principal Act, for us to have gone out there and listened to the opinions of those people who are looking after family with disabilities, those in the organisations that are also looking after those with disabilities, those with legal backgrounds who know the ins and outs of this area, and to have given them the chance to talk and give their opinions and their concerns and some amendments to try and improve the amendments that we are making to the Principal Act. Mr Chair, these are significant changes to the Principal Act, and the Select Committee would have given us the opportunity to look through some of the things and some of the impacts that would have been part of this legislation, because it's in black and white here what it all means. That's right. It's in black and white here what this means. So no one knows, and maybe that's a question I can put to the Minister and the Chair, what is actually in here that you've blacked out? Oh, it's kept it all secret. Oh, I can read between the lines. This is the kind of bedtime reading that Tauhine Day likes. Nice and easy in black and white. That's right. Nice and easy in black and white. But going back to the Principal Act, though, Mr Chair, because this is a serious issue which affects thousands of Kiwi families who have been robbed of that chance to make some submissions to the Principal Act. Whenever you're ready. Mr Chair, this bill, the changes to this Principal Act, because of their significance, should have gone through due process. And that due process would have been, as someone has said before, would have been for this bill to have been introduced to the House and those amendments to be tabled in this House. And I'm sure the Minister, the Chair, would have then referred it to the Health Select Committee, chaired by the very able and well-respected Dr Paul Hutchison. And in that Select Committee process, many people would have come in, because of the significance of the changes to the Principal Act, came in and gave their submissions, because there are some serious changes to the way in which people can can launch an appeal because if they feel they are hard done by, but the fact that the government says it can pay those family members who are caring for it. Mr Chair?
Chris Farfoy.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr Chair. There are significant changes in the way that the government has put in this bill around changes to the way that they are paid, the level they are paid, and one very, I think, cruel...
Order, we must come, it's the Principal Act,
Okay.
not the contents or what's in the amendment.
Okay,
So
sorry,
it's the
Mr Chair.
Principal Act.
But there is an amendment to the Principal Act within this bill which allows those carers to be paid a much lower rate than those who are doing a similar job who are being paid as employees who aren't necessarily family members. And that kind of change, Mr Chair, to the Principal Act, I think would have been one of the things that, issues that should have got very, very focused scrutiny by a select committee process. Mr Chair, I'm sure that my friends in the press gallery or in the media would have loved the opportunity to listen to some of the submissions at a select committee process, given the significance of the amendments to the Principal Act that we are talking around here. Mr Chair, I do want to stress again that this process doesn't seem right. This is a significant piece of principal legislation that we're changing, and I just want to show you this again. And we need to have a better process when we're changing major legislation than just getting a complete page of blanked out notes which show us which show us some of the changes to the Principal Act. Mr Chair, the Principal Act is a major piece of legislation. We are looking for a select committee process. We're not sure if we're going to get it, but maybe that's what the government should have done.
Point of order, sir. Point of order.
Point of order. Any